In January 2023, I went to the effort of going down to the Kapiti coast for the Steam Incorporated Open weekend, and because I can't drive and strongly dislike travelling by plane, I was given a lift over to Hamilton, where I joined the Northern Explorer. And as I found out, the motive power was a little bizarre. I mean, sure, KiwiRail always use DFBs on this service, but I thought it was strange to see DFB 7267 in particular because she's normally confined to the Wairarapa line between Wellington and Masterton. At least I think that's the case. And this wasn't even a week after we saw her passing Rotorua station on 221. On the morning of Saturday, January 21, DFB 7267 arrived at Hamilton's Frankton station to pick up a sizable number of passengers. She was hauling train 201, the 7:45 Auckland Strand to Wellington service. You can see my recent video about Auckland for why I think the Strand is not a good station. The locomotive was hauling 7 coaches, all classified in the AK series. The basic AK and AKC coaches themselves were built at Hillside Workshops in Dunedin, while the AKV observation coach and AKL luggage vans are rebuilds of old FM guards vans. Originally built by Mitsubishi of Japan and, apologies if I'm mispronouncing this, Daewoo in South Korea between 1977 and 1981. As for the lone AKS luggage van, that's a former British Rail Mark II coach that was originally refurbished as an SA for commuter service in Auckland. The AKV and AKL coaches have been so heavily modified from their original design that you can barely tell that they used to be FM vans. Around 25 minutes past 10, DFB 7267 got underway to continue her journey to Wellington, now running 10 minutes late, and the delay would only get worse as the journey went on. Normally, AKC 2511 is the cafe coach on the Northern Explorer, but on this occasion they were using AKC 2552, and according to one of the staff members, this was apparently due to AKC 2511 having rather high mileage, so they brought up this other one from the South Island. The Northern Explorer's AKC coach replaced the long lunch stop at National Park, which was a tradition on the previous Overlander service. The modern-day replacement, often nicknamed Dora, has been in operation since June 2012, and in its early days it was often hauled by DC 4692, long before she was sold to Martinus Rail and exported to Australia. As we approached the town of Te Awamutu, we found DH 2851, of all locomotives, sitting in an industrial siding near the Fonterra plant. Needless to say, I thought it was rather weird seeing a DH anywhere other than Auckland or Tauranga / Mount Maunganui. It took a shocking 10 years for the Northern Explorer to finally start calling in Taumaru Nui, which is pretty stupid considering how big the town is. It didn't start calling here until December 4th, 2022, and in the yard you can still see some old ex-Auckland SA and SD coaches, now in rather poor condition. I took this service primarily as a means of just getting down to the Kapiti coast, with the scenery being less important, although that's apparently the main feature of KiwiRail's marketing. Because clearly it would make absolutely no sense to make this service viable for regional travellers. No, it just absolutely has to be focused primarily on tourists.
We're just coming into Rotorua now, we're going to climb off the spiral. As we pass through the Rotorua rail yards, the spiral is up on the hill to our left. You'll see Rotorua 3 different times as we climb the spiral from different points, with the spiral about to start our climb up to National Park.
One thing that you can't ignore on this journey is the remarkable engineering feat that is the Rotorua spiral. And last year I rode on this very same section of track with standard railcar RM31, although that was just a quick run from National Park to Rotorua and back.
Go for it. Any park bags while you're all for you, mate. Yeah, that's fine. Other way around. Would you like a hand there? Oh, I need to message you know about something actually. She got one hand the other day that I typed on. Put her a message on Instagram saying I want one of the days we go through. right, so I'd rather take cash. Yeah, I did.
People like to be retired. I can see you.
Because I thought that was going to Waltham Yard to sell it. Okay. None of you are waiting for the bathroom. Just making sure.
Thank you. So I can see myself. I can see you.
I can see you. I can see clearly now. You like the rain is gonna be.
It's never rain. It's not rain.
The train is. Yeah, the train is.
Where is it gone?
And back. Oh, I work in here more than he does, so you get to know things.
Between Rotorua and National Park, the train came to a complete stop for a few minutes. I can't quite remember what was mentioned over the PA system, and if anything it was a miracle that anyone was able to hear it at all, but I think DFB 7267 was having a slight mechanical issue. The Makatote Viaduct is tied with the Rotorua Spiral as one of my, dare I say, favourite locations on the North Island main trunk. Not much further down the line, and just before we arrive in Ohakune, we cross the modern Hapua Whenua Viaduct, and the original can clearly be seen in the background. As we pull into Ohakune station, we pass a northbound freight train with another DFB marshalled behind the DL, when really it should have been the other way around. I think this would have been the regular 234S. Later on, we crossed the Whangaihu River in Dangiwai, the site of New Zealand's worst ever railway disaster. On the night of December 24, 1953, steam locomotive KA949 was hauling an overnight passenger service from Wellington to Auckland. But due to a laha from Mount Ruapehu, the bridge was washed out not long before KA949 appeared. Despite the efforts of Cyril Ellis, who stood by the track and waved his torch to alert the engine crew, the locomotive and 5 coaches, later joined by a 6th, fell into the river, with the loss of 151 lives. When we finally got to Palmerston North, after a ridiculously long 2+ hours that included skipping fielding of all places, I was surprised to see DFB 7282 get attached to the train. And apparently this was due to worsening issues with DFB 7267. By the time 201 finally got on the move again, she was at least 1 hour and 20 minutes late. I must say it doesn't look all that good when a service that only runs 3 times a week in each direction very rarely actually runs on time. I left the Northern Explorer at Paraparaumu as my accommodation was in Paikakariki. But I had to take one of the dreaded rail replacement buses to get there, as there were no Mātangi EMUs running on Wellington anniversary weekend.